This is Fulcrum. The trailer for The Acolyte just dropped today, so let's take a look.
Come in. This is
Close your eyes. Your eyes can deceive you. We must not trust them. Tell me what comes into your mind.
Love at the Jedi Temple.
Life. Balance.
Oh, this looks great.
I see fire.
Yes, Carrie-Anne Moss.
Someone is killing Jedi. It doesn't make sense. What happened?
I sensed darkness.
Yes. Is that Vernestra?
This isn't about good or bad. This is about power and who is allowed to use it.
What is that?
Oh, dang. Oh. Honestly, I love the look of the trailer. I love what's going on in it. Let's talk a little bit about it. So first of all, this is during the High Republic era, which is about 100 years before the prequel era happened. And this is going to be at the tail end of the High Republic. And if you haven't read the books, it's okay. Essentially, the High Republic is a time where the Jedi are kind of at their best. The Jedi are who they are supposed to be. But of course, the tail end of that, and then of course getting into what we know as the prequels, like there starts to kind of creep in that darkness and that dark side that they start to sense around the prequel era. But this is a time period where the Sith are non-existent. There are troubles in the galaxy, but as far as they know, there's no dark side. So the fact that we've got an Acolyte, we don't specifically have a Sith necessarily. So that a lot of people are talking about like, oh, well, the Sith were supposed to be gone for a long time, but that isn't exactly what we have. We have a dark side user, but it's not necessarily a Sith. So will be interesting to see what goes on there. So with that trailer, I love the kind of the martial arts aspect that they're taking to this. I mean, Carrie-Anne Moss being able to wield the Force and going to have a lightsaber, I'm sure, and just be a complete badass. I am very much looking forward to that because she's a badass, and I want to see that Matrix with a lightsaber is basically what I want to see. We've got some fan favorites that are coming into this. Vernestra Rwoh, who is in the Greenskin, who is in the books, and Vernestra wields a lightsaber whip. So I don't know if we're going to end up seeing that. And of course, this is probably, Vernestra's probably much older than we get a young Vernestra in the book. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But basically what we can kind of surmise is that the teacher that we hear in the beginning at the Jedi Temple, we know that one of their students, maybe their Padawan, I'm not really sure quite yet, ends up going dark side, becoming the Acolyte that we see in Amandala. And then of course, like, I think that beginning is going to be the kind of the flashback that we have a lot of flashbacks to seeing them as younglings and what's going on there. We get it a lot in like the Obi-Wan Kenobi show and things like that. So that's pretty much what that seems. And then of course, like later on, now somebody's killing Jedi and we have to kind of uncover this. So it's going to be a bit of a mystery intrigue show, as well as apparently a lot of action, because that was a lot of lightsabers. And I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, they're holding back a lot, and I want that. I don't want everything revealed in a trailer. And of course, then when they reveal other trailers, we'll get more of that. But we know little to nothing about Amandala's character. They kept the mask and the hair, and so we don't really see much of that. So we don't really understand what what the premise of that is. Like, we probably see them running. That's probably them running with the fire in the background, which is what they envisioned when they were youngling. And then how everybody works into this. Like, we've got some kind of seems like young Jedi or Padawans, and they're also a part of this mystery. Mostly we have new characters, which is going to be fun. Like, as much as I like to see, as much as I want that Wookiee to be Burryaga, who is in the High Republic books a Wookiee Jedi. Burryaga is like, oh, there's so much love for that character, but this one appears to be a different Wookiee, but a Wookiee Jedi, that's pretty sweet. And Junis, who is Chewbacca in Solo and as well as in the sequels, that is going to be the same person who plays the Wookiee Jedi. It looks pretty bad. I mean, the fighting looks pretty awesome from what little we've seen. It takes this show so far has a much darker tone. And a lot of fans have been wanting that kind of darker tone, ever since things like Rogue One came out, where we see kind of the war side of things. I think the older generation of Star Wars people want to see more lightsaber battles and of course just kind of a darker tone to things that we get in some of the books. Over the last 40 years, we've had some elements to that, but we see some darker elements in like Revenge of the Sith, and we haven't really seen that as much with what people say with Disney Star Wars. They tend to take a little bit lighter approach, even when there's dark, heavy things. Of course, like Andor being an exception to that, we get a lot of dramatic aspects to it, but. Yeah, so far the trailer looks great. It's beautiful. There's a lot of different settings, which is nice. And we get some of like Coruscant Jedi Temple. So there's the beauty of things. Then we also get some of the grungy, hopefully newer. Please, no desert planets. Just give me new places. I want new places, Star Wars. But that seems to be what we're getting. There doesn't seem to be the kind of the mainstays that we have. And of course, this is a different time period, so I want to explore different things, different characters, different aspects. I want to see the Jedi struggle a bit in the something that they haven't come across against, and kind of have to grapple with what it means to be a Jedi. I want to see a bit of that, because we get that in the High Republic books, but we don't necessarily get it in everything else. Like, of course, we see Anakin struggle in the prequels a bit, but we don't really see much behind that. It's just suddenly he has a problem with it. But we get a little bit in the Clone Wars. But this is going to be that time where the Jedi start to kind of deal with a little bit of that corruption coming in, and that is an exciting possible time period that we haven't explored. I don't think we're going to deal with characters like Plagueis, who of course is what Darth Sidious, Palpatine, learned from. Time period wise, that might be just too early to necessarily set that up. This might be a completely other side story and not really dealing with the Sith, maybe just dealing with somebody with dark side. They're being very ambiguous about that, but I think that's going to be the whole point is that there's intrigue and we have to investigate this. So I think we're going to find out a lot when the show actually comes out. So we will see, and it's June 4th, so we don't have to wait that long. And we're going to be having a 2-episode drop on that first day, June 4th. So join me for those watches, and we'll do a little reaction and review with those episodes. I'm stoked. I'm stoked. I always look forward to some new Star Wars, and I'm not going to crap on something until I actually see it and can experience it for myself. But until then, I can stay excited and enjoy what's about to come and all the nerd talk that we get to do online. So don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and like this video, of course. It helps me out and I appreciate it. But again, thank you for going on this adventure with me. Fulcrum out.